work with the African Union, and before African Union was AU, it was Organization of the African Unity, OAU. OAU was basically a club of member states. So then the AU became a people-centered organization. But then who are the people? There was a discussion that we need to include people because we have a large segment of Africans that are living outside the continent. And then they said, let's include the diaspora. The definition of the African diaspora are people of African origin living outside the continent and who, irrespective of their current citizenship or nationality, are willing to contribute to the development of the continent and the building of the African Union. SIDO was created with two divisions, a civil society division and a diaspora division. The civil society deals with everyone who's inside the continent. The diaspora deals with everyone who's outside the continent. I work with the diaspora division that deals with people who are outside the continent. One of the things that really helped change the idea of diaspora is Ebola. So Ebola happened. Nobody wanted to declare it an emergency, even though you saw the growing numbers in Liberia and Sierra Leone and in Guinea. But it is because of the diaspora, and it's because of diaspora individuals, celebrities like Samuel Eto'o, that African Union made sure that with the private sector they had sort of a campaign, Africa Against Ebola, and it's because of this message that it was declared an emergency. It was because of this message that people started pouring large amounts of money into a fund for Africa Against Ebola. So small initiatives that require people who understand the context of the country, and these are diasporas. They see what's happening abroad, they know how to connect it, and they bring this to show how the diaspora can contribute, whether peace and security, whether in skills, whether in resources, but we need to make sure that there is something that comes back to the diaspora as well. The vision of SIDO had specific plans when it comes to the diaspora. Some of them is expanding networks. We have a network in the Caribbean. We have a network in Australia. We created a network in Canada. We are in the process of creating one in China. In Europe, we don't have a network, but there are so many existing networks. So the idea is not to recreate, networks, but to make sure that these networks come together. So small visits, small things, small interactions with the diaspora tend to provide a lot of visibility or understanding of the people. And, if you speak about changing the image of Africa, and TAP is linked with that, it's important to tell the stories of not just what institutions and organizations such as the AU are doing, and they are doing a lot in my view, but also what African people abroad are doing and how they change policy. What we try to do is make sure that the diaspora see a bigger goal, see that Pan-Africanism in them, and see that Africa connects them, not just your nationality or your religion or your profession. It's not just that you need to be African of the blood or African of the soil. That's not the only thing. You need to be willing to contribute to the development of the continent and the building of the African Union. Why? Because when we say that we want to include the diaspora, it's a partnership. It is not just that we want them to support. We know that they need support where they are. And this is why African Union, when they go to the diaspora, they support the diaspora wherever they are. And they need support in many ways. And then they can also support. But that linkage to the continent is important.